It's been about 5 months since the last update video, the one where I basically announced my comeback. And now, after a solid amount of new content that was released, I figured it's finally time for another update video. Despite being a little bit sick, I decided to record today because I really need to start working on this update video. So forgive me for sounding a little bit under the weather. So let's jump straight into some announcements. First off, aside from the YouTube community tab, I've also been posting occasionally on my new Blue Sky account. If you're interested in getting more frequent updates or some behind the scenes stuff, feel free to check it out. Alright, I already made this announcement a couple of weeks ago, but in case you missed it, the Oddshow series is officially coming back. I'm bringing back the long-awaited, previously cancelled, now fully back in production third installment of the Mario Oddshow series. After nearly 8 years, Super Mario Oddshow 3 is finally happening, and I'm aiming to release it by summer of 2026. And that's not the only upcoming Oddshow. Another project I promised nearly a decade ago, Sonic Oddshow CD, is also coming out. I'm hoping to finish that one and release it by winter of 2026, so roughly a year from now. Also, guess what's back? Sonic of the Dead. The very first sprite series on this channel is getting a full remake, now with voice acting and a reimagined narrative that's definitely going to be as odd as the Oddshow series, if not even stranger. My plan is to remake all 3 entries and have them out during the first half of 2026. That's it. That's it for the new stuff. I'll keep releasing more Oddzone videos, of course, but I'll be slowing down the pace a bit. I'm also dialing back the amount of support content like Oddware, Oddcraft, Oddplay. They will still come out in a regular fashion, just not quite as often. You know, I'm giving myself room for a bit of, having breaks here and there. And as for the shorts, nothing's changing there. You can expect the usual mix of Oddbite and Odd Shorts and so on. Now, with the announcement part out of the way, let me give you a quick overview of everything I've been releasing over the past 5 months. If you want, you can also just skip this section of the video and just head straight to the end of it, because I have a little announcement, just another one, just for you. So, what would I classify as main content on this channel? Well, that's the Oddzone videos. I try to release them roughly every 2 months. And at first I saw them as a continuation of the Oddshow series. But now that I've made 3 of them, I've realized they've become more of a playground for me. A space to stretch out my sprite animation skills, experiment with used and unused game assets, and really try to recreate this vibe that you get from the actual Sonic games, just with a humorous twist. That's really what the Oddzone videos are. They're just fun, light-hearted, and pretty straightforward, without straying too far from the classic Sonic game vibe. Now, there's also 2 Sonic in videos, like Sonic in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and Sonic in the Tokyo Toy Show demo. They're also part of the main content for this channel, and I try to alternate them in terms of release date with the Oddzone videos. These are basically little Elseworld scenarios that are much more experimental and, odd in their own way. Now, if I had to give this category a name, like a code name, like Oddzone, it would probably be Oddverse, though I'm still working on that name. Of course, sitting at the top of all of it is the Oddshow series, kind of like star content of this channel. Releases are of course far less frequent, but if you've been here for a while, you already know exactly what to expect from Oddshow. Now, let me quickly run through the rest of the content in case you're new. These are more like support type videos. So you have Oddcraft, where I explain and demonstrate a little bit my animation process. You can think of it as a tutorial style breakdown. There's Oddware. It's more of a documentary style video series where I present odd and interesting facts about the development of classic Sonic games. Then there's also Oddplay. That's more of a glitch showcase series where I highlight bugs and glitches from the games and I try to explain a bit what's really going on behind the scenes. These 3 support videos aren't animation focused, obviously, though the occasional gag might pop up. They're more educational, more informative, and honestly it's just a nice way for me to talk, share things I enjoy without spending weeks animating. Now, for the shorts, there's a variety of them, but here's a quick breakdown. Odd shorts. Now, those are clips that are taken from previous Oddshow videos. They are re-released as YouTube shorts. Occasionally, you'll see one of my old hand-drawn animations as a short. Odd bites. It's a bit similar to Oddware, but they are bite-sized. They are just focused on unused assets from the games, and sometimes they have a tendency to spark debates about what certain unused sprites are meant for. Moving on, there's Odd Snips, which are companion shorts to the tutorial videos where I explain specific details more thoroughly. And finally, there's Odd Nicks. It's just a fun, quick showcase of all the different bad nicks from the games. They're with a little bit of animation. And that's the current lineup. Things might change over time, and I may even reach out for your feedback to see what content you enjoy the most. Alright, with all that said, I just have a couple more things to share before wrapping up this update video. You know, coming back to this channel was something that never truly left my mind, and I'm really glad I finally made the jump. Part of it was wanting to get back into sprite animation. But I didn't want to return to the same old routine, you know, using Adobe Animate and following their subscription model. I was waiting for something that felt like a real change. And once I discovered ToonSquid, and that I can animate on a portable device, it was only a matter of time before I started animating again. I've also realized more than ever that I'm just a creative person, through and through. Maybe not the most original, I admit, but I genuinely love sitting down and making things, whether that's 2D animation, 3D animation, video editing, or something completely different. And since this channel already has an audience, some who've stayed from the early days, I see this space as a way to express that creativity while building a small but genuine community. And to that community, everyone who's watching, who leave comments, likes, or even those who silently stick around, thank you, really. Let's see how far we can take this channel together. Of course, my current day job still comes first, and you know, life gets busy sometimes. But whenever I have the time, I'm excited to animate and create more content for you. I don't know where my creative projects will lead long term. Maybe someday I'll start a completely different channel, or maybe Dojin Pixation will grow into something much bigger. But for now, I'm focused on everything I want to bring to you right now. And before I forget, if you stuck around until the end, I do have one more surprise. For New Year's, I'll be dropping something Oddshow related. It's not a brand new entry, but it is a little something to enjoy while you recover from the holiday festivities. Alright, that's everything from me. A new year brings new adventures, and I'm excited to jump into all of it. Happy holidays, enjoy your time, have fun, take care, and ciao!